Senator Halware, what's the point of intervention?
Madam Speaker, almost 10 minutes into the minister's response, the minister is merely citing the relevant articles of the Constitution and the relevant acts. The purpose of the question is for him to tell us what he's doing with persons and organizations who are providers of ICT so as to protect our children. The laws he's reading were enacted in this parliament by him and myself. Tell us what you're doing with the persons and organizations who are providing this service.
Senator Halware, your intervention is noted. Honorable CS, kindly get to the gist of it. I think the response is very extensive in terms of citing the statutory provisions. I think the mover of the question wants to know why we continue having issues regardless of what you're citing in terms of the regulations and the law. Maybe you want to move quickly to explaining what is being done, so that members can also ask the subsidiary questions. Thank you.
Indeed, Madam Speaker, I'm trying very much to answer the questions as asked. I was not only citing the law itself, which I'm aware, and I was struggling with the first question, which was asking what laws. I explained the laws themselves, the regulations, and the amendments that we have done, and what it is that we have. I may just run to I may avoid that part. Allow me to proceed. On the operational progress and the empirical code, Madam Chair, Madam Speaker, I now turn to the Honourable Senator's second question, which is what operational progress has been made. I wish to take the unusual, but I believe necessary step of laying before this House the empirical record of regulatory enforcement during the period under review. Because the proof of any framework lies not in its statutes, but in its conduct. Honourable Senators, between February 2025 and April 2026, the Media Council of Kenya took 31 recorded enforcement actions in matters touching the protection of children. Of these 31 actions, 19, approximately 61% of the total, concerned gambling and lottery promotions, or published in breach of disclosure, age restriction, gambling license display, or watershed requirements. 8 actions concern sexual, vulgar, or otherwise age-inappropriate content broadcast during the watershed period and disseminated onward via social media. 4 actions concern the identification of minors who were victims of social violence or other sensitive matters in news reporting. And 4 other actions concerned other matters affecting children, including the publication of suicide scene images, images of deceased persons made accessible to minors, and the broadcasting of live protests during the watershed period. Madam Speaker, I draw 3 observations to the attention of this House. First, the fact that gambling-related actions account for some 61% of the recorded enforcement directly evidence both in the scale of the gambling exposure risk to which the Honourable Senator's question refers, and the active regulatory response to it. Secondly, the second largest category, sexual content broadcast during the watershed and disseminated onward via social medias. This confirms the convergence of broadcast and online distribution channels and the need for platform agnostic enforcement. Thirdly, the recurrence of certain media house cross multiple actions has informed the Council's decision to escalate from individual case responses to systematic measures, including mandatory training, and legislative amendments, which I shall describe shortly. Madam Speaker, the national KSAT reporting channels and intake. On reporting mechanisms, the National Kenya Computer Incident Response Team Coordination Center operates multiple channels: email, the mobile application, telephone, written responses, and physical visits. Childline Kenya operates a child helpline 116, a 24-hour line. The National Center operates a digital forensic capability that supports the investigation and prosecution of cybercrimes, including online child sexual exploitation and abuse. Madam Speaker, on intake, in the first quarter of the financial year 2025-26, the National Center recorded 8 reports of child abuse. And in the second quarter...
Honorable CS, allow me to guide, let the members note the detail of your report. I realize the timing for the question